this is Dan, and we are the Hustle Couple. We are new to YouTube, but not new to reselling. We've been reselling on Poshmark, eBay, and Mercari for the last year. And as this pandemic has hit, we have both gone full-time reselling. So we thought we'd jump on YouTube and help you guys out with your reselling journey, because it is a journey. It's not easy. And we'll give you some tips and tricks that we found along the way about sourcing and selling and all of that fun stuff. I'm Amy, and I'm an artist, and I am unemployed right now because everything is shut down. And Dan's corporate job has gotten really, really slow, so he's kind of unemployed too. So we thought, what better time and place to go full-time and do what we love in reselling. Okay, so how did it start? Well, I grew up in a thrift store. My grandma worked in a charity shop, and I literally grew up there all day, every day in the summertime, from the time I was like 4 years old until I was about 16, every summer. And I have a love for thrifting. So I married Dan here, who had you ever been in a thrift store?
Yeah, I had.
For what reason?
I mean, just for personal shopping, occasionally.
Really?
With friends and stuff, yeah.
Okay. Oh, like an outing.
What?
Like you guys
Yeah.
went to the thrift store together.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So we met through a band that we both really like, and we were quite different. Dan was used to going retail shopping, and you went to like the mall and stuff, right? When
Yeah,
you needed
usually.
stuff? Yeah. I hadn't been to a mall in I don't know how long. All of my clothes were from ThredUp. I've been with ThredUp for years, or thrift stores. I'm from the DC area, and we had great thrift stores there. So I went to them all the time as an adult. But when we got married, I moved to Texas, and that's where we are now. Okay. And they have great thrift stores here too. So I'm a costume designer for theater, and I used to go to the thrift stores here all the time and for costumes, and I would pick up stuff for myself, and I would bring Dan along. And why don't you tell him what you did while I was shopping for clothes?
I sat and played on my phone and hated it.
Yes, he was a good sport. He was very positive. But like after 2 hours in, I mean, I can shop for a good 8 to 10 hours, even in one store, and he was not having it. So that's how it went down. I started collecting clothes that I knew were good deals, and I kept seeing this thing called Poshmark. And Dan had done eBay before. You were big onto eBay.
I mean, occasionally I'd sold random stuff that I had laying around, but I never did it. I never pursued it as secondary income.
I see. I hadn't done anything. I've never sold, not even like Craigslist. I was terrified of selling to people online. But I started collecting these things, and I was saying to Dan, hey, I have these things that are really expensive, and I got them for really cheap while I was out shopping for my job. Can you sell them for me? He's like, I don't know. So we had this pile going, and I kept saying, there's this app called Poshmark. I keep seeing ads for it, so maybe you should, I don't know, sign up. And then I was at work one day, and I came home, and he told me it started with 5.
Yeah, it was like 5 pairs of pants.
5 pairs of Pete and Greta pants that I found at a thrift store.
Yep.
I didn't know the brand. I didn't know it was part of Johnny Was. I just knew that they looked expensive. And Dan was like, these are really weird pants. And I'm like, I know, but I think they're really expensive. Can you just like figure it out and like sell them or something? And so he listed them on Poshmark, and they sold like very quickly.
Pretty quickly, yep.
I think that's what started it.
Yeah.
And then he started, while I was at the theater at nights, he's here alone, so he started listing more things that I had in the pile, and the pile kept growing, and he's kept listing, and that's how our Poshmark got started. How did you get involved? Because now he loves to go thrifting. You love it, like more than me.
I mean, it must have been. I must have found a really nice piece of expensive menswear, like a sport coat or a suit or something, for really cheap, and I think I looked it up and found that it was worth hundreds of dollars. I think that's probably what turned me around.
Yeah, once we got married, you started getting into menswear.
Yeah.
We got married in Vegas, and so we didn't really have nice clothes. There was no planning involved, so we didn't get to go get the tuxedo and the wedding dress and all of that. But after we got married and we moved in together, we did some shopping to kind of blend our styles, I guess. And we used to go to Nordstrom Rack.
And upgrade mine a little bit.
We had to upgrade mine a little bit. And you started buying like Ted Baker suit jackets, and things like that at Nordstrom Rack.
Yeah.
I think that's where it started. And then you could find those same things at the thrift.
Mm-hmm. For like $3.
$3. So now when we go to the thrift stores, we go a lot in Texas when they're open, but we'll split up. He'll go and do the men's section, and I'll go do the women's section. And normally I'll know within an hour whether that thrift store is a hit or a miss at that time. You know how they're kind of hit and miss. And I'll go to him and I'll be like, okay, I'm done. We need to move on. Because there's lots of thrift stores here. We can just go to a different one. And he's like, oh, no. I'm still going.
Yeah, the menswear section usually I find is not very picked through. So I end up finding lots and lots of quality pieces mixed in throughout.
Yeah,
that are good for resale. So
why don't you tell people how you do that? Because there's a trick to it. And a lot of people, like, probably watching this video are scared to sell menswear.
Yeah.
So maybe you can tell them a little bit about how you know how you look at the thing.
Well, what I do, I usually start with sport coats and suits for me. That's just my go-to because the profit margin on those is better than anything else we usually resell. And I grab the sport coats and then I just look at the label, and there's usually 4 or 5 top designer labels that I look for.
Tell them where the label is, because most people think it's at the top, like in the back of your shirt.
Yeah, no, it's when you open up the jacket, it's usually on the right side underneath the breast pocket is where the labels are. And I look for Burberry, I look for Canali, I look for Zegna, Armani, and all those really nice high-end Italian designers that retail for anywhere between $800 and $1,600 for a sport coat, and I'm picking them up for $2 to $6 a piece, and they're out there more than you would think.
I would say every thrift store we go to
Yeah.
has at least one that you pick up.
Yeah, for sure.
And like Yves Saint Laurent, I mean, we're talking like high-end suits at
Yeah.
these little baby thrift stores.
Yeah.
I don't know how it happens, it's miraculous, but get into the menswear game, people. So that's how we started, and I think we just kind of evolved from there. Right now we're trying to switch our closet to sell more high-end items that have a larger return, because it takes a long time. We're both very meticulous. Dan, we'll break down our process. So we do the shopping, we bring it all home, and then Dan tags it with how much we paid for it, what it's made of, and he writes these little tags out, and then we steam them, and then Dan takes the pictures. While he's doing that, I'm doing the research and looking up comps and trying to find stock photos if applicable, and then he hands me the envelopes and I start listing them. Right now we're using List Perfectly. That's the one we tried and it's working for us, so we're cross-listing to eBay and Mercari. Sometimes, what are those other ones?
Depending on which item we list, sometimes it goes to Tradesy if it's like a really high-end women's item, or if it's a really nice men's item, we post on Grailed as well.
But those are few and far between.
Yeah.
For the most part. We still haven't really taken off with eBay. I don't know. I mean, we sell a little bit there, and I know it's about consistency, so we've been making it a point to list daily on there. And we have seen a little bit of a pickup, but not too much. We did sell some really high-end items on eBay. If you watch our What Sold This Week video, we sold a brand new pair of Manolos on eBay for an awesome price.
Mercari, actually.
Was that Mercari?
That was Mercari.
Mercari.
Came through for us.
We sold a high-end item on Mercari?
Sure did.
Okay, so typically I think of Mercari as the cheap stuff, Poshmark is the mid-range, and eBay is the... Okay, Mercari, okay! So watch our What's Old video and you can see we're going to try to put those out on Sundays to help you understand what's selling for us. Sometimes we have really slow weeks and other times we have great weeks. We're kind of in the middle right now, I'd say.
Yeah, we're working on the consistency. So.
Yeah. I'm not mad about it.
Nope.
At the beginning, we're in our living room right now. At the beginning of the quarantine, we bought this built-in thing off of the Facebook Marketplace. And it came in a bunch of pieces, and someone ripped it out of their house, and we got it really, really cheap. But now it houses all of our Poshmark inventory, so it's not all over our house. If you want to see a how we store our inventory video, let us know in the comments, because I'm sure Dan would love to make that. He's kind of obsessive about it. We don't have a lot of room. We live in a small condo, so those of you people that are operating without a lot of room, we can help you out.
Yep.
Get a built-in off Facebook. That's all I say. But anyway, our sales they're okay right now. I mean, considering everything that's going on, we can't complain. I don't think in the real world 2 full-time incomes would come from what we're selling right now, but hopefully we can increase that as we go, and once these thrift stores open up again, we can go and continue to source really high-quality items and kind of change our business model. Right now we're taking anything. We're taking stuff off Nextdoor for free. People are offering us stuff, and we're listing whatever we can get right now. But hopefully once they open up again, our business model will start to shift, and you can follow us along in that journey to see how we're doing.
All right.
All right. Well, thank you for watching. We really appreciate it. If you'd like to subscribe to our channel, hit the subscribe button down below, and we will try to bring you a video every single day and keep you apprised along our journey and the highs and the lows, I guess. Leave us a comment if you'd like to see anything from us specifically, and we'll make those videos for you as soon as we can. Thanks a lot. Bye!